Okay, today's episode on Reawakening, I want to talk about Israel being the failed vineyard. Israel was originally designed to bring God's message. That's what because salvation is of the Jews, and they're the ones that were supposed to bring it, and they failed epically at doing it. So I want to go through Isaiah 5, just showing you this. So now let me sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved regarding his vineyard. My well-beloved has a vineyard on a very fruitful hill. He dug it up and cleared out its stones and planted it with a choicest vine. He built a tower in its midst and also made a winepress in it. So he expected to bring forth good grapes, but it also brought forth wild grapes. And now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, please, between me and my vineyard. What more could have been done to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Why then, when I expected to bring forth good grapes, did it bring forth wild grapes? And now, please, let me tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away its hedge, and it shall be burned, and I will break down its wall, and it shall be trampled down. I will lay it waste, and it shall not be pruned or dug, but there shall come up briers and thorns. I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain on it. For the vineyard of the Lord of hosts is the house of Israel, and the men of Judah are his pleasant plant. He looked for justice, but behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry for help. Woe to those who join house to house. They add field to field till there's no place where they may dwell alone in the midst of the land. In my hearing the Lord of hosts said, truly many houses shall be desolate, great and beautiful ones without inhabitant. For 10 acres of vineyard shall yield one bath, and a homer of seed shall yield one ephah. Woe to those who rise early in the morning, that they may follow intoxicating drink, who continue until night, till wine inflames them, the harp and the strings, the tambourine and the flute, and the wine are in their feasts, but they do not regard the work of the Lord, nor consider the operation of his hands. Therefore, my people have gone into captivity because they have no knowledge. Their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. Therefore, Sheol has enlarged itself, and opened its mouth beyond measure. Their glory and their multitude and their pomp, and he who is jubilant shall descend into it. And people shall be brought down, each man shall be humbled, and the eyes of the lofty be humbled. But the Lord of hosts shall be exalted in judgment, and God who is holy shall be hallowed in righteousness. Then the lambs shall feed in their pasture, and the waste places of the fat ones strangers shall eat. So Israel, they were supposed to bring the message of God forward, of Yahweh forward. But their wickedness, they get dug up, they quit producing fruit. They're brought down, they're humbled, they're drunken in there. A lot of it is, there's another part in there I didn't even write down, but I noticed it as I'm reading the scripture, because no matter what type of teacher I am, I'm always a student. I noticed that all the houses are being swallowed up. So you could literally have about one person owning 15 people, then 15 properties. Then that means 14 people are homeless. So everything is not inhabitant there. So what Israel is supposed to do, kind of like what Daniel did with Nebuchadnezzar. They're supposed to show Yahweh off. Because there's a set of Babylonians that are saved, and there's a set of Assyrians, in the days of Jonah that are saved. That's what Israel was supposed to do, and that's what it didn't do. So these walls ended up getting torn down. People were sent to hell. People would, from the stress and the pressure, they would wake up in the morning just to drink themselves to death at night. They probably were that terrified of the Assyrians because these people were brutal and they were just like a sledgehammer all around the world. So now here comes the true vine, Jesus. So John 15, I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine dresser. Every branch in me that does not bear fruit, he takes away, and every branch that bears fruit, he prunes, that it may bear more fruit. You are already clean because of the word which I have spoken to you. Abide in me, and I in you. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself, unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, and you are the branches. He who abides in me, and I in him, bears much fruit, for without me you can do nothing. And if anyone does not abide in me, he is cast out as a branch and is withered, and they gather them and they throw them into the fire, and they burned. So if you abide in me, and my words abide in you, I will ask you what you desire, and it shall be done for you. By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, so you will be my disciples. So Jesus now, he is the true vine. So they have to, you can't be just saved by being a Jew. They have to abide in Jesus Christ to be saved. So not just so you can be saved, it's not just salvation, so you can continue to producing fruit. So you can continue to, because one of the biggest thing is loving Jesus, and part of loving Jesus is sharing how to people how to become saved from their sins, because sin is choking them to death. How to minister to the lost, how to be at peace with God, because when you're not with him, with Jesus, you don't have peace with God. Like those Jews were being torn to shreds in Isaiah 5. I can't imagine just waking up in the morning and just drinking a ton of booze, but if you're on a highway to hell and you don't have any idea what you're doing, I can see that. So, you stand tall with Jesus, and so guys, I'm just going to give you a message for you. I love you very much. And so today, if you don't know Jesus, get to know Jesus today. Jesus loves you. We all struggle with sin. We've all fallen short of the glory of God. We've all struggled with adultery, whether it's thinking about it or doing it physically. We've all had very angry thoughts in our head, whether you act on it or not. And we've all struggled. We've all told a lie. And if you measure this up against the law, by your deeds, your actions suck and they will get you sent to hell. And that's fair enough. But let's say I have a good heart. I know what you're going to argue that. People argue that all the time. Well, I'm a good person. Oh, really? Let's take every thought that you ever thought. Let's make it come into reality. I don't care how sick or bizarre or perverted or violent it is. Let's do it. Are you still a good person? So you want to be judged by your thoughts and your deeds. You're better off being just judged by your deeds, but your deeds will get you sent to hell. Your thoughts will get you sent to super hell. That's the bad news. But the good news is Jesus Christ went to the cross to die for your sins. See, he paid the penalty, so you don't have to. That all you have to do is call on his name. Like it's Jesus saved me from my sins. Whoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. And Jesus loves you. And if you claim you know Jesus and you're not sharing Jesus and you don't love others and you're not doing anything that he's asking you to do, you can be sent to hell with them. Don't be egotistical. and think you're just going to get there by on coasting on a fake knowledge of Jesus. Guys, I love you very much. Peace.